you said every once in a while you get mad. You try to be the vibey guy.
Yeah,
I know Damon gets mad. What were your emotions like during that 0-15 split? Are you just like trying to figure it out and then you're mad and then you're just like...
I mean, obviously you try and contain it as much as possible, but there are some times where it's like, we talked about this 3 separate times already.
Yeah.
Like, we got to address this again or something, because obviously it kept happening, or something kept happening, and that, you know, even though it was sometimes different scenarios, it was just like, we just can't let this happen. Like, this is week one type stuff that like last year, we would never let this happen. We wouldn't play like this, you know? That was the most frustrating for like me and Damon, where it's like, bro, last year, at the end of the year, we were not playing like that. We doing something different, and then we watch it back. It's like, okay, maybe we're playing like a little bit like this, but maybe we were bailing ourselves out. But like, this is bad. Like, this is And obviously, I think I got to a point where just mentally it was hard for them too, because you see 0-9, 0-12, and I could super sympathize with that, because it's like, okay, we got to get one somewhere, and you're just waiting for this light bulb to come on and this switch to flick. Unfortunately, it just never came though. And again, it just kills me that we couldn't make the roster work, because that was like, you know, the one we won champs with. But regardless, I'm just super excited to be working with these guys too, because no matter what, you're just focused on improving regardless. And you know, it sucks that I can't be with those guys, but it opens up a new opportunity to play with or to like use another roster.
All right, let's see how PR trained you are. So I'm going to ask you a question about that time. And you answer to the best of your ability, and let's hope Tech Rab's not watching.
I hear that.
What happened? I'll put you on the fucking hot seat.
I won't say everything, but first off, I think we just weren't playing fundamentally correct. I think the routes we were taking were just not the right routes, whether it's the wrong person doing it, the right person doing it. I think, obviously, love Ken. I think he's the smartest player I've ever coached. Even going back to the Crimson Crisis game since insane. I think he wasn't able to play to the abilities that he wanted to as well. You know, last year was a little bit different with how the AR played. I don't even want to put it on one person. Everyone wasn't playing well. But the fact that like we weren't all playing well, plus the mentality thing of like, we're just not even winning a map. Like we're doing well in scrims, but we're not playing well in the map. You know, if you asked Brandon or Ant or AG, none of them were playing to their standards. So I don't like everyone putting it on Ken. I don't think that's deserved. I don't think we were playing fundamentally correct at all. That was the problem, and that was the biggest thing for me. Was like, this I feel like is on me and Damon a lot, because it's just like, you know, we're saying things, but maybe it's not going through, or maybe it's, you know, we're looking at a wrong way. We tried to reinvent, basically start from square one and be like, forget everything we know. Let's try and reintroduce this, do everything again. Still wasn't working. I don't know. It sucks, because for me, it was just a super anomaly where it's like, dude, we have 4 talented players. What is going wrong here? I just don't think we were playing fundamentally correct, like, at all. And I don't think it was on one person. So for anyone saying that it was on one person or was on 2 people, I don't even think you would say that, you know, Brandon and Ant were playing their best either. So
yeah, I get you. I mean, it makes sense. Are you trying not to allow yourself to feel any sense of relief at right now? Because right now, as we're recording this,
I mean, it's still scrims at the end of the day. You can't say anything until you see that shit in matches. I've always said that too. It's like, everyone loves these scrim counts and scrim whatever. Dude, we were unstoppable. MW2 going into the Toronto Major. Unstoppable. I'm talking, I've never been more confident that a team that I was coaching was going to win an event.
Really?
Bomb out. Double first rounded. It was Damon's first time coaching with me. And I'm looking at him in the scrims at the event beforehand. I'm turning to him like, this doesn't normally happen. We got like 100-point club by LAG or something like that.
Really?
I'm like, yeah, Damon, I don't know what's going on. Like, I'm telling you, I've never been more confident my team was gonna win an event before that. We had like a 90% win rate in hard points. We were smoking everyone. This was the Dan, Kyler, Bruce, Ant one. We had just gotten second twice. We gotten second at the our major, and then got second at the pro-am. And then we go into that event. Bro, I'm telling you, I'm so confident. I'm like, I'm looking, maybe that was part of it. Maybe everyone was just looking past round 1 or whatever, and we just get double first rounded. We play horribly. And it was just like, it was so eye-opening to me. Like, at that point, I'm thinking to myself, fuck scrims at a certain point. Scrims are great. Like, you can really see if you're improving or not. But if you don't actually translate to a match, who cares? You know, it's like...
Yeah, no, that makes perfect... Do you as a coach are you looking only situationally in scrims? Like, are you only looking at each P4 as like kind of separate, or each hard points is kind of like separate little games that you're trying to coach, instead of like, because right now, for the first time from what I've seen, scrims are like getting tens of thousands of people watching them. And so everyone's just looking at the final count. Everyone's looking at the final stats and the final score.
Yeah.
But are you as a coach, when it comes to scrims, like it's cool if you guys win the map, but this
100%.
Yeah.
If you're not taking away everything, unless it's like a 250 to 45 blowout, you should be taking away at least something from the map. I've always felt that way. Like you're not always playing you're not going to have perfect maps like that. COD's never going to be perfect, or it's pretty much impossible to play perfect.
Right.
But there's always something you can be improving. I'm not going to say like after every P4 like, oh, we should have done this here. Oh, we should. But if it's like 3 P4s in a row of like us not doing something, it's like, okay, let's bring it up. Like this is actually a problem, because if you just see one map and you say, oh, we fucked up here on that P4, but like we play 4 more after that, and it doesn't get fucked up, and you don't even bring it up. You know, that's just one offhand, one-time thing. He made the play. It didn't work that one time. Maybe it was that 20% that I was talking about before.
Right.
But for the most part, if it's happening consistently, it's probably a problem, or it's probably something we should address, right?
Yeah. That's so interesting. So now do you even go into events with any level of confidence at all? Like,
I mean, you still go in with confidence, but you're just, I mean, I get anxious for the
matches?
Sometimes for the matches. Not for online matches, but for tournament ones, I'll still get like, okay, are we going to show up?
Yeah.
Or are we not? You're like, you can probably tell from like the first map if it's probably going to go right or not.
Right,
or even just the scrims at the event beforehand. But even sometimes scrims are not even, or even just warm-up maps aren't even the biggest tell. I've seen us, or it just in past teams, I've seen teams 100-point team or 100-point club teams, they end up losing. I've seen people get 100-point club, end up winning the map. So warm-up scrims are not so much to base off around. But yeah, a lot of times nowadays, I guess now we're streaming scrims, you see the scoreboards, you see everything. But there's so much more that goes into it. And that to a common viewer, it might be hard to understand. It might not be.
Right.
Depending on, I guess, how much you played or what level you played at. But to me, I don't know. You can't just look at the final score, but like you could see a 250 to 230 map. We won the map, but we played horribly.
Right.
Or like we could have easily lost that map.
Right.
You know. But that goes up on the score count that we won that map. So
exactly.
we're good at that map, right?
Right.
So there's a lot more to look at it, and there is really this big common misconception about scrims, and I see this a lot where it's like, oh, they were just working on their P4 breaks there, so or they were really working on their P2 holds, so they weren't really trying as much that map. That's complete bullshit. Every team in the league is trying to win the map.
Win the map.
I've always thought you are going to get in those situations, P4 breaks, throughout the week.
Right.
There's no point sacrificing a possible good scenario of a P4 hold where you can work on that.
Right.
You don't want to be giving up the rotation every single time. I don't think that's productive.
I don't think that
personally.
happens. No.
You're not going to happen. It's not going to be in a real match where you're going to be like, yo, give them that rotation. So why would you do it in the practice, right? You're just going to get in those situations. You're just naturally going to get in those situations because of just chance. You're just going to get in. Like, maybe it doesn't happen as much today, but it's going to happen maybe twice tomorrow or 3 times the next day,
Right, yeah.
So there is that common misconception of like, oh, they're just working on things, so they weren't trying that map. But it's like, at least any team I've worked on the last 6 years has never done that.
Yeah, of course.
You're just going to get in those situations and work on the situations that you get into.
I think that's just people just bleh, just like saying shit.